So, our young Rams team started off the season hot, traveling to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seahawks, smacked them around in their own house. We're feeling pretty good. There was a lot of good things. Then, in week two, the Rams returned home to face the San Francisco 49ers, a team who many believe is a Super Bowl ready team. Um, I'm one of those people. They're pretty good from top down. Their coaches, their offense, defense. They're a pretty good looking team. They are. They're pretty good. They just can't quite get over that hump. Can't quite get over that hump to get to the Super Bowl. But we'll see. We'll see how this year unfolds. Now, the interesting thing about this matchup is the fact that the big question was going to be how were the Rams going to fare in today? Because in the offseason, the Rams were considered to be in a rebuild year that, we had to get rid of a lot of our good guys. We were broke. We didn't have a lot of draft capital. So there was a big question mark on how or what this team was actually going to look like. Okay, so on one hand, you have the Rams, who are a big question mark that really no one knows what to expect from them, whether they're going to be good, whether they're going to be bad, how everything's going to look. They were a bit of an unknown. And then you have, on the other hand, a team who is Super Bowl ready, who has built their team, and many believe is ready to take on the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl this year. A Super Bowl championship team in the San Francisco 49ers. Going to perform against a team like that? Well, it, we lost the game 30-23. Sure, yes, we did, dropping our record to 1-1. So our young Rams team took a loss for the first time this season, and San Francisco improved to 2-0. But all things considered, I consider this. I was happy. I was very encouraged with what I saw. I was very encouraged by the state of the team. I hate losing, and I hate losing to the San Francisco 49ers. I really do. It is. So, one can say it's a bit of a moral victory, and I was very encouraged by what I saw. But at the end of the day, I still hate losing. We lost the game. That's the reality. We still lost the game, 30-23. We dropped to 1-1. But the encouraging thing is how much fight this team showed in this game. I was very, very impressed by the grit, the discipline of this team for such a young team. I was very impressed at how much they battled, how efficiently they moved the ball for much of the game on offense. I was impressed by some of the physical play on the line of scrimmage, both offensive and defensive lines. Something I've been screaming about for a while is for the Rams to really invest and concentrate their efforts onto building a good, solid line from the inside out is the idea. And it looks like now, after 2 weeks, I'm happy to say I like what I've seen. So, starting with the offense, I suppose, I really like what I saw from the offensive line. We got ourselves a new coach. We got some new players, plugged them in. We started Coleman Shelton at the center position, something I felt we should have done a long time ago. Nothing against Brian Allen. I don't have anything against him personally. He's just undersized, and he doesn't seem like he can hold up, and he hasn't the past couple of years. Okay, it's just is what it is. We have Steve Avila, who is looking to be an All-Pro, which is something I'm very happy about. They invested a high-round pick, second-round pick, on an O-lineman, something they should always do, okay? Unless there was a position, a big-time skill position at the quarterback position or like edge or anything like that. I am of the firm belief that any team, if you are building your team, you must always build it from the inside out, and you must invest in either a first, second round pick, one of your earlier picks, on either the offensive line or the defensive line. One of those two. I'm a firm believer that every year you must invest in the line of scrimmage, whether that be offense, whether that be defense. Invest in the line of scrimmage. It all starts there. And I'm happy. It seems like the Rams are finally starting to get it, and they have been doing that this offseason. And the offensive line, I felt, played tremendously against a very physical, very talented defensive line of the San Francisco 49ers. As much as I hate them, they do have a good lineup. They got Bosa, they got Kinlaw. They're very, very, very good on that line. And I thought they held up well. Okay, there was a little bit of cracks at the end of the game. Mostly, I'm going to attribute to that, us being down 2 scores. That tends to happen. They don't need to worry about the run anymore. They can just tee off. But overall, very pleased with the offensive line. Very pleased with the quarterback play. Matthew Stafford, I thought, had a very good game. He was very aggressive, which is what I want to see. As you can see, he had 34 out of 55, 307 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Now, 2 interceptions, it's, the one came off of bouncing off of Kyrene Williams, our new running back's hands. And, that was a mistake. I feel like maybe he was looking downfield a little more than he should have. He should have complete the catch, reel the catch in, and then look forward. I don't need to explain this to him. I know he knows this. He knows this. It's just in the moment, he just lost focus for a second, and it really kind of cost us, unfortunately. Because San Francisco was able to turn the momentum. They were able to increase their lead, and things just became a lot more difficult from there. And then the other pick, I believe Matthew. It just wasn't a very good pass, if I remember correctly. These things will happen a lot when you're throwing 55 times a game, which I would encourage maybe trying to limit that number. Okay, not saying that Matthew Stafford can't do it. I'm just saying it's a long season, and the idea that he would throw 55 times every single game for the remainder of the 15 games, maybe more, counting playoffs, is not ideal. And he looks healthy, he looks great, but we can help him out with that. I understand San Francisco is a good defense. They're very good against the run, and I understand once we've fallen behind, we're forced to throw a little bit. I get that. I'm not like getting on Sean McVay or the offensive staff for not running more. I'm just simply saying what I saw, and that we need to run a little more balance. I know in this game that was hard to do because we've fallen behind. When you fall behind, you have to throw. It is what it is. But if we can limit the number of throws from Matthew, I feel that would be in our favor. We can do that this week against the Bengals because they tend to struggle against the run. This could be a good breakout game for Kyrene Williams. Speaking of Kyrene, I thought our running game was good. I thought he played a very good game. His stats, he had 14 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown, but that may, on the surface, that may seem a little pedestrian, and we could stand to get a little better. But I saw someone who ran with purpose, who ran with physicality, who was very aggressive in his run style, and I feel will only get better. I was happy with what I saw from Kyrene Williams. I thought he had a very good game, despite his drop from the pass that turned into an interception, which really turned the game in the 49ers' favors for us. But it is what it is. He's a young player. These things will happen. I'm not upset about that. Skill players, Puka Nacua, another great game, 15 receptions, 147 yards. I believe he broke another record for us for most receptions by a rookie in 2 games, I believe is what it was. I really, really like him. I love his tenacity, his ferocity in catching the ball. He's very, very physical. If you watch, he doesn't let one guy tackle him. He's always like fighting for the extra yards. Even if he doesn't really go anywhere, you can tell he's not just going down for the defender. He's like dragging him or like just holding himself up at least, and letting multiple guys come to take him down. It's a very welcome sight, and it's very the physical play from the Rams is something I have been desperately wanting to see for several years now, and I'm seeing it right now. It's extremely encouraging, and for such a young team, that you can see that they have bought into what Sean McVay is selling, and I am all for that. Let's see, Tutu Atwell. I thought he played a very good game. Tutu's been playing very good the past couple weeks. I did not think Tutu. I thought Tutu was a wasted draft pick. I really wanted Creed Humphrey, and I've been salty about that for years now. But Tutu has played well the past few games, and if Tutu can continue to do so, I'll be happy, because all I want at the end of the day is the Rams to win. And if the light has finally clicked on, and if the light is finally clicked on for Tutu Atwell, if he's finally getting it, if he's finally running his routes, catching the ball, playing physical, using his speed to his advantage, all the merrier. All the merrier. We can use all the help we can get. So if Tutu can contribute, I'm all for it. And he did a good job. And when he does a good job, I'll say it. He did a good job. So good job, Tutu. Very much looking forward to when Cooper Kupp comes back, and we can see kind of all three of them, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Tutu Atwell. Though he messed up on a route late in the game, which would have been a touchdown pass. But, again, that's kind of a screw up. He's got to know the plays. But, mistakes are going to happen in the game. He had a good game. He had one goof, even though that really could have helped us at the end of the game. And against a team like San Francisco, every play counts, So those mistakes loom larger in a game like this. But, I'm not going to kill him for it. It's one mistake. I'm sure Sean's talked to him about it, and hopefully we won't see any more of that, because we can't afford that. Defense, San Francisco scored 30, but they're a really good team offensively, so it's going to be hard to defend against them. I saw a lot of things I liked. I saw a lot of good play from our, again, the line of scrimmage. The Kobe Turner. I think Kobe Turner is going to turn out good. Aaron Donald had a pretty quiet game, unfortunately, but San Francisco always plays him pretty well. They game plan for him specifically, and that's just how it is. He's the best player on the team, so they're going to triple team him. They're going to do all they can to keep him out of the game. So it is important for everyone else on the defensive line to hold their weight. And Kobe Turner looks like he's someone who's going to be a reliable player for us. I can't wait to see him grow. Michael Hoyt, I like what I'm seeing. He had a good play against Debo, where he was being blocked, he shed the block, and he tackled Debo by himself. That was really good. I like that a lot. It's the secondary. It's a tough day, but I thought they played decently. Darion Kendrick, I'm excited to keep seeing him grow. I would like to see Trey Tomlinson too. I would like to see him kind of get some playing time. I know he's kind of riding the bench a little bit. He's a rookie. Perhaps maybe that giant face mask in preseason had something to do with him not seeing a whole lot of playing time at this moment, which I get. But I would like to see him play. I think he can contribute very well for us. And I'm sure he will when the time is right. But overall, and Raheem, if I would say this, we really need to get better at our 2-minute defense at the end of the half. Okay, we scored late in the second quarter, took the lead, and there was only 1:41 left in the game, and we let the 49ers run down the field in 5 plays, score a touchdown, and take the lead before half. We cannot afford to do that. Okay, we can't afford to do that. Okay, I know it's hard to do against such a good team, but we can't let things like that happen. We can't let things like letting the opposing team move the ball at will on us at the end of the first or second half like that. We'll lose a lot of games like that. We got to fix that. But overall, I'm very proud of how this team played. I'm very encouraged at how this team of what this team showed. I love the grit. I love what Sean has done with this young group. I'm someone who I've always preferred building a team through a draft with young players and watching them grow together at the same time. I know we did the superstar thing, the big name players for a few years, and it got us a Super Bowl. And I am eternally grateful to Sean and Les for assembling a team that was good enough to win a Super Bowl. I love it. But I'm also a guy who prefers watching a bunch of young guys buy into a culture, grow into something special. It makes me, this team is literally reminding me of the movie Replacements with Keanu Reeves. If y'all have ever seen that movie, okay, a bunch of NFL players go on strike. They don't feel they're being paid enough. And the team is basically replaced, the Washington Sentinels, by a bunch of regular guys who are just working normal jobs, replacement players. And I'm looking at this Rams like the replacement team because they're just a bunch of unknowns, a bunch of rookies, a bunch of undrafted guys, a bunch of practice squad guys just getting together, and they're playing well so far. So this team, I'm very encouraged. We're still at the bottom of the mountain, and we stumbled. The young Rams stumbled a little bit, okay, getting smacked down by San Francisco, unfortunately, but we showed a lot of grit, and I'm very proud of the team for that. And I'm very excited, man. I'm excited to watch Monday Night Football, dude. I'm excited. I love this team, dude. I love watching this team. Even if they were terrible, I'd be excited. But I legit feel, and guys, I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of the other games, NFC teams. I got to tell you, for most of the teams, there were a few teams, San Francisco stands out, the Eagles possibly, but other than those two, dude, we're right there. If we can keep growing like this, we're right there with the best teams in the NFC. We can make the playoffs, guys. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what happens in the season if you just win enough games to make the playoffs. If we can just get into the tournament, guys, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I'm jonesing. I'm freaking out. I can't wait, dude, because I don't like to look too far ahead. But this team can make the playoffs. And, dude, if we stay healthy, if we remain disciplined and still buy into the message, who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen? I don't want to look too far ahead. I don't like watching games like that. I'm only worried about the Bengals right now. But there's a lot to look forward to as Rams fans, guys. This team is only going to get better. I'm all for it. And, yeah, that's it for now, man. We got to get ready for Monday night, dude. Joe Burrow. Because I'm be surprised if he doesn't play. I'm very proud of this team, guys. I'm very proud. They could have easily just called it a rebuild year, look like shit, but no, they're really trying, man. And the sky's the limit, dude. We'll see. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean, for not giving up on the team, man. Thank you. But I'm gonna call it here for now. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, move it on to week 3. Go Rams.